look forward to, that you have your daily routine to physically accomplish, and you have your checklist to make up for the day, well, you must always thank God. Once again, in compliments of the season, it's a few days to Christmas, and I'm sure quite a lot of us are already making plans towards that particular venture. So like I always tell you, for the past 2 weeks now, I've been saying that if you have an opportunity to share, if you have an opportunity to show love, if you have an opportunity to extend a hand of assistance to anyone whom you know needs it, to anyone whom you know is deserving of it, please kindly do. All right. I'm not saying that your present circumstance is convenient for you, but you can try. At least for this season, let's help each other. Things are difficult, things are hard. We can only help ourselves. All right. Okay, so welcome to another edition of Issues in the News right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku. Once again, good morning and welcome to the program. And you know how we do it right here. We try to give insights into various aspects of the Nigerian polity, meaning every sector that makes up the country is discussed here, and intellectual and professionally grounded personalities give in-depth analysis of these issues, which in turn elicits your reaction. So what is the conversation today? Now, Dr. Okupe, the Director General of the Labour Party's Presidential Campaign Council, has resigned his position following his conviction over money laundering charges. Okupe announced his resignation in a letter addressed to the presidential candidate of the party, Peter Obi, which was dated December 20, 2022. In the letter, Okupe said that he had invested so much in the Labour Party campaign to allow his personal travel become a source of distraction, hence his decision to quit. Okupe's resignation comes as after he was convicted over money laundering charges. You recall that before this conviction, there was an internal wrangling within the party as to Okupe not paying his dues and as to financial misappropriation as well. There were allegations within the party of that against him, and they actually wanted him to step down. At the time, there was a controversy surrounding his person affiliated with this particular scenario where he was convicted of that position, so that he doesn't put a blight on the campaign procedures and processes of the Labour Party. And like I said, it will recall that Okupe, who is a former senior special assistant to former President Goodluck Jonathan on media, was convicted over the diversion of arms funds from the office of the National Security Advisor. A Federal High Court in Abuja, in a judgment delivered by Justice Ijoma Ojukwu, found Okupe guilty on counts 34 to 59 of the charge the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission preferred against him. Now, speaking on the development on Monday, the presidential flag bearer of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, while reacting to Okupe's conviction, stated that the situation would not demoralize him or make him lose focus of his ambition to become the next president of Nigeria. And in a monitored program last night, I was able to have a recording of the PRO of the Labour Party. And let's hear what he has to say concerning the situation in the Labour Party and how the party feels with Okupe stepping down. And that's in the person of Yakub. He was highlighting the measures that the party is taking in order to look at how they could try to merge with the internal situation ongoing at the moment. But he's saying that the party is resolute to do the needful and make sure that Nigerians get the benefits of the right president to lead the country come 2023. And as regards to who they intend to put in place of Okupe now that he has stepped down, well, he said it is going to be an integral decision within the party members. It's not going to be a sole decision by one individual. The party needs to decide who is competent to take up that position within the party. So let's listen to him.
To all of us, and I must say here that Dr. Okupe is an exceptional Democrat who believes in the rule of law, who is working very hard to ensure that Nigeria is taken back to the hands of the people. So immediately when we got this particular news, it took us aback normally as a group of people. But you have to remember that this movement is not about one person, it's a collective interest. want to take back Nigeria to the hands of the Nigerian people. So it only will strengthen us. We want to meet to take a decision on what has happened. And we, on our part, will remain resolute and determined to continue on our sojourn in order to change the narrative and getting 133 million Nigerians out of poverty. This is the target of our principal and his vice, Deputy Baba Ahmed. And you also recall that he made this particular statement in the same Uyu yesterday as regard to the fact that we know that there have been a syndicated attack from a lot of our opponents, starting from the registration point for the PVC and then collection, destruction of property, and then eventually killing of our people. And so we've already called on the local and international community to look at this syndicated attack on the persons of our own collective interest and as a political party and as a movement. We are not going to be deterred, are not going to be also be intimidated by anybody or any action of a group of people. Because for us, Nigeria is our target, and getting Nigeria back on the right track is what we believe that we are going to do. We have not officially made pronouncement as even regard to the resignation that you read out early on this particular show. Until when the campaign council meets and they will take a decision on whether what to do and how to do it next. So those particular names probably will also be speculation until when the campaign council meets, because you see, when came, we only went back into our drawing board to look at the plus or minuses of this particular pronouncement and looking at it with the view of how we come stronger out of it. But there was no particular decision that was made in regard to this particular situation. But the decision by Dr. Doyin is a personal one. He took it on his own merit as a true Democrat who knows that it's a collective interest, and then he decided on his own to make those particular pronouncements that you saw in the letter. But collectively, the campaign council, all the parties have not made any pronouncement as regard to that. But only our presidential candidate who made it clear that nothing would deter him from continuing to sojourn, to continue to fight for the Nigerian people, continue to fight for the soul of the Nigerian people, continue to fight for the collective interests of Nigeria and ensure that Nigeria is back on track. This is the collective target, and we are not derailing from that. It may shock you to know, Seun, that the obedient movement and our followers and our party members know ab initio that those who have held us down for so long will not relent in their efforts in order to manipulate the system or attack us or gag us or kill us. So they are already prepared. They have prepared their mind as regard to the challenges that will be on us. So they have made up their mind. And you can see from some of the things that they've been doing, even when they were being intimidated, come out of it stronger. Even when they are being attacked, they come out of it stronger. Even when some of our people are being killed, they come out stronger. So this particular one will only strengthen us and make us stronger as a collective. So that is the kind of stuff the Nigerian obedient movement are made of. Also, as a way in which they are trying to demarcate and probably the focus that we have. But we have said it, that there will be a point in which we will have to look, although we are making submissions to the Nigerian police, the Nigerian army, and the Nigerian government as regard to the series of attacks that we're receiving, both on cyber, physical, and on the media. But at the same time too, our people are not going to be docile and wait until when we are already been eliminated in the field. No, Nigeria belongs to all of us, and no level of intimidation will be acceptable by us. So we are saying, as a sound of warning, that it is good that these people should resent from attacking us or killing us or maiming us or trying to shame us or trying to intimidate us. This will not be acceptable to all of us. But it is very important that the Nigerian state take very closer look at this particular attacks that has already been on us, and making sure that those who have been arrested have been brought to book, and then major announcements should be made as regard to those who are involved in this heinous crime. And the judgment passed. It seems to us it's just a piteous judgment, considering the fact that the major culprit or the major accuser of probably those who gave the money are already living free in the streets of Nigeria. We don't even know where that particular person is. I'm talking in respect of Sambo Dasuki, who was allegedly to have given this particular money to Dr. Doyin Okupe. And the truth is this. Now, he himself has been set free. He has not been convicted. That is the person that was said to have given this particular money. But here you are, somebody that's already been alleged to have collected is being convicted. So that for us sounds very, very, very funny, because you cannot put something on nullity. And then that was why we are turning it to a syndicated attack to us. Looking at the veracity of the claim and the allegation, those who are supposed to have given the money are still living free. And those who have been collecting have been involved in drug addicts, drug baron, those who have been involved in corruption, even at the highest level, those who have been leading the action of violence have not been touched. That moves us to start thinking that this particular decision or the judgment of the court as another judgmental attack on the pick and choose on our own leadership. And then when you look at it critically, you will examine the fact that those particular people who are supposed to have been juridically been convicted were not convicted. So how is it that at this point and at this moment in which when we are soaring high and then they are making those particular judgments in order to demarcate us? So those are the reasons why we say it's a syndicated attack, both physically, on the cyber, both humanitarian, and then at the same time, all right, now.
And that was Yunus Atanko. You could hear him actually vehemently expressing himself that there are, instigations and attacks coming from left, right, and center on the Labour Party, trying to derail them from proceeding in their mandate to secure the nation. Now, there is also another secular out there from a certain group known as the Concerned Citizens Network, a civil society group which they claim dedicated to promoting unity and social cohesion in Nigeria. So they are writing, they said the questionable endorsement of IPOB by Peter Obi of the Labour Party. And so here is it. They said the essence of writing the letter, that is an open letter, is to bring to the fore the activities of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi in the propagation of the unwholesome activities of the proscribed indigenous people on Biafra. So this group are actually saying that he is supporting the activities of IPOB. He tends to tell, or rather identify himself with what IPOB represents. Now, the High Commissioner may wish to be informed that the Labour Party presidential candidate has continued to play to the gallery regarding the nefarious activities of IPOB in the Southeast, especially despite the wanton destruction of lives and properties. Now, Southeast Nigeria has constantly come under the IPOB threats, and that, according to them, Peter Obi has refused to neither condemn nor articulate how he intends to tackle the threat posed by the group if he is elected president in the forthcoming elections. They also disclosed further that they have it on credible authority that IPOB has tactically endorsed Peter Obi's presidential aspiration, which is mainly responsible for enlisting some known IPOB promoters into his presidential campaign council. I wish they were able to list these IPOB members within the Presidential Campaign Council. Now, they say he has systematically refused to make the IPOB threat to our democracy his campaign's focus, because the promoters of IPOB are in his support through numerous contributions to his presidential campaign. The group further disclosed that in several public outings, Peter Obi, he attempted to change the narrative concerning the formation and sustenance of IPOB by alluding that it was a creation of governors of state states in the southeast Nigeria. These, according to them, is that they gathered from reliable sources disclosed only to them that it was a part of the deal he entered with the group in return for support during the presidential elections. This actually sounds like a huge allegation, and I hope that this is addressed as soon as possible. But this group, they call themselves the Concerned Citizens Network, is asking for Peter Obi to be probed, that apparently he seems to be aligning with what IPOB represents, or what they stand for, what they make themselves to be known for. That on several occasions he has refused to diffuse or deny being a supporter of the group, and that somehow in a way there are persons within the group in his presidential campaign council who through various means are contributing money to move forward the process of the campaign activities. That is also another allegation alluding to the Labour Party. And to hear what Yunusa said, he said that these attacks are coming from all over the place. I have Mr. Elvis Ehimehele via the telephone today. He's not going to be with us physically to speak on this a little bit, concurrently with what Yunusa said and what this group are actually alleging against Peter Obi. Mr. Elvis, good morning.
Hello, Esther. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good.
Compliments.
Same to you. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, esteemed listeners.
So you heard what Yunusa Tanko said, and you also heard what I read concerning this concerned group citizens making allegations that Peter Obi actually represents what IPOB stands for. In what manner,
Yes.
in what way? I need clarification on that.
Yeah, Tanko Yunusa spoke well, and I have to also give it to Chief Joe Okupe. He has also told a good line, a line of honor, that the party is bigger than him, and what they want to achieve is also bigger than him. That's by tending the resignation letter as the DG campaign for the Presidential Campaign Council of Labour Party. That was a nice one, and I also believe that as time goes on, whatever allegation that came up from the PRO, the Tanko Yunusa, Nigerians will begin to know the truth. If it's actually, the judgment is actually coming at this time, to denigrate Labour Party. We'll know more about that. Let us remember that this case did not begin today. This case has been on for more than 5 years. Although the judgment came at this time, I think it's like a coincidence. But however, I would have expected that the Labour Party, if they would have even done their due diligence and and security check before giving us such position to.
But you recall that before this court's conviction, there was also an internal wrangling within the party concerning them trusting. There were some financial misappropriation allegations against him at the time, asking that he should step down because they no longer trust him in that process, and they did not want anyone to bring any blight. And however, there were some support groups who said no, that it is internal politics ongoing. So did he have to take this particular conviction to come up before he decided to step aside? Some would actually say that, this alludes to the fact that the initial explanation concerning financial misappropriation on him was actually true.
That one that came first was like an internal party, was an internal party issue. It was within the party. Most of us will not really dwell on that. In internal wrangling within the party, most party, they will always say it's a family affair, And, let me also tell you, Esther, some of those people who were also in that position within the party that didn't get it, will always look for something to pull down the person that eventually got that position. It's a big position. DG, campaign council, campaign committee for a party that have just grown within 6 months to grow in all avalanche of life. So
everything must actually come through that table. He's aware of everything ongoing.
Yes, you will see that even the political party that have been in existence since 1999, they are even still having issues. Then you cannot imagine this one that just grow like a Harmattan wind within 6-7 months. And so there are so many things that will begin to come up. You will see the one that was even Labour.
But the Labour Party is not a new party. It didn't just come up in the
No, it's not a new party. But before now, Labour Party, nobody, Nigerians don't know more about Labour Party before now. So many people have been have come into this party willingly on their own, and they have taken up the mantle of this party and say this is now our own party, irrespective of the position it has been before. It was at the lowest before now, but now you can see it's competing among the two major parties that have been in existence since 1999. From the blue, it just came up. So So you see, even before now, you even heard of some of the allegations that was levied against the chairman, about a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So many of these things will play up. You see that internal crisis that came up, that was majorly from the Ogun State branch of the party. And the National Executive Council met and said, no, Ogun State executive, they suspended, some of them are on suspension as we speak.
Yes, and they actually deserve them.
And they gave Chief Okupe a clean bill on that. But because this court judgment is a national matter, this one has to do with the money laundering, and the money that is being being said here is money that belongs to Nigerians. This is why they said, oh no, this one we are campaigning to bring better life for Nigerians. And if things of something of this nature happen, we have to let Nigerians know that we are not reneging in what we are telling them. So the man said, I have invested so much in this, and I will not allow this matter to distract the willpower of a Labour Party. I have to step aside, which is good. In Nigeria we hardly see some things of that nature. But if it's honorable for him to step aside, and he steps aside, I think it's a nice one. Let's take it further that even if eventually the Labour Party wins and come to power, even if actually bring in commission and ministers and whatever, and any of them that is found wanting as in discharging the course of their duty, they should also toe this line of actions that we'll step aside. Look at PDP. The PDP has the umbrella is torn to some extent now. Some part of the umbrella is torn because of the G5 governors. What are they seeking? They're also talking about something of this nature. Let the chairman step down, and let the party move forward. But the chairman said it's not stepping down. So in this case, we see somebody that say, I'm stepping down because I'm being indicted and or whatever. I think that is good. Then for the PRO talking about all the banter here and there, and I think that the INEC has to come into that. Destruction of their materials
and killing of some of their personnel.
And we saw what happened, killing of some of their personnel, and even the not at the registration point of the PVC, we saw them being intimidated. We saw what happened in Lagos. Even as we speak now, there are some parts of Lagos. If you mention Labour Party, some people will attack you. Some of these things, the security personnel, the security agencies, and the INEC should come up and stand their ground, because Nigeria is just one entity. It's only one president that is going to come 2023. Therefore, let Nigeria have the choice to choose who is going to lead them. Not in some part of this nature, because this one has the dominant. This is the dominant party there. You cannot speak. You go to some part. No, we should not polarize this thing. This issue. It should be that we want a leader, and this leader is the one that Nigerians believe that is credible. Come 2023, whoever emerges, that means that's the one Nigeria choose, because there are laws there that says, okay, he has to win 25 states, he has so level, and he has to pull the highest number of votes. If all these parameters are put into place, and a leader eventually emerge, which means that's the one Nigeria says, okay, this is the one that can lead us. So, but give all the contestants, all the candidates, the free atmosphere for them to compete favorably, so that by the time the pool comes and go, the one that did not win, we know that, okay, I had the same chance with the one that won. It means the one that won was, had a better opportunity before Nigerians than me. But the situation where you go to some part of the country, you are not allowed to place your billboard, or even your posters are torn and all over. You cannot hold rallies. Stadiums are closed up because a political party is coming to campaign in that state. I think this is an aberration. We should live above all these.
The Inspector General of Police have actually spoken against that, saying that if a particular political party is prominent in a state and other political parties want to carry on their campaign, they should not be impeded from going on with their processions.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Elvis, the next question I want to ask is concerning what this particular group say concerning Peter Obi. They seem to have the notion, or rather, that he should be questioned, or rather investigated, that he has an affiliation with IPOB. So, concerning the fact that on several public forums, he has not denounced or tried to not be represented or have to identify with what IPOB stands for. They say that a lot of havoc has been wreaked in the southeast by this group, and that on several occasions, Peter Obi has not directly talked about what IPOB has been doing. Either he's completely denouncing or isolating himself by saying he has nothing to do with them and will definitely not be represented by them, or not giving them any form of representation. What do you say to what this group actually said?
Esther, these are necessary at this time. I thank God that it is still an allegation. I want the group to further prove it, number one. But I want to
mention names too.
I want you to also listen to some of Obi's campaign talks where anytime he's on the podium. Obi is saying, I am a candidate for Nigerians. I'm not a candidate for a particular ethnic group or religion or whatever. And he is also saying, come, I will dialogue with every militant group that is going on, militancy that is going on in Nigeria now. But those that refuse to come out of this militancy after dialoguing will be termed criminals. And these criminals, the law will take its course on them. I've listened to him. I'm not a spokesperson for the party, but I'm picking all this from some of the from what I've heard him spoke to Nigerians in some
on
of the
several public forums,
tour, the rallies he has done. So if the time comes and Obi, if eventually wins and he's setting up what they call setting up groups that, okay, I want to mediation group around to talk to everybody that is aggrieved now, you know, that both those of them are in the bush now, those of them that are in the open, whatever. Let's come out. Let's accept the new government. This is what I have for you. This is what I have for you. This is what I have. Those that will drop their arms, it means those ones are ready for peace. Those that are ready to drop their arm and say no, we'll continue to derail the will of Nigeria and the success of the government. Those ones will now, if you are caught in that act, you will be picked up and charged to court, and the law will take its position on you. I think that's what I believe, that what he has been telling us, he should stick to that. If this group is alleging that he belongs to one particular, there are so many militant groups in Nigeria now. If you say he belongs to IPOB, we also that he belongs to the bandit. We also say he belongs to Boko Haram. We also say he belongs to the Niger Delta militant. There are so many. At the end of the day, if whoever wins as president must be able to bring all these are all Nigerians. They are all Nigerians. Must be able to bring them together and say what is actually causing this agitation. Can we meet at a roundtable conference and settle this matter? If the matter is settled amicably and they drop their arm, good for Nigeria, we all move forward. Those that say no, I will remain in the trenches, I will begin to carry out nefarious activities against Nigerians and the Nigerian government, those ones will be termed criminals. So I think this group that came up with this, they still need to tell us further, because we are going, several groups will be coming up in this manner to all the political parties. This is campaign period. You are looking for a way to demarket your own opponent. We don't know who is sponsoring the group, but we just know now that they came up with something else. So Nigerians will investigate, Nigerians will know the truth about it, and they too should also come and prove it further that exactly what they are saying, they meant it. And this is where Obi was in IPOB meeting, and this is where he said have they found it in IPOB meeting? Have they shown us the video? Have they said this is what he said in an IPOB meeting? We have not seen that. They only came to allege. So if you allege, the onus is for you to prove further. I think Nigerians will begin to wait for that.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Elvis. I know I'm going to leave you on via the telephone so that in case there are questions thrown at you, be able to respond to. So please kindly stay on the line. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so it's now time for me to hear your purview on the conversation today. And of course, we're currently streaming live on YouTube, so you can send in your comments. I think someone has already sent in a comment. So you can send your comments if you're somewhere where you cannot call or you cannot make any comment at all, but you can type. You can actually type on there. You can call the number 0700 903 903 903, and you can send a WhatsApp message as well concerning the conversation we're having this morning on Issues in the News on 0700 903 9039. 0700 903 9039. That is what we're talking about this morning. And the conversation is situated on Doyin Okupe stepping down. Eunice Otanko actually explaining what the next step will be now that Doyin Okupe has stepped down, and also asking and calling on the government to try as much as possible to secure their personnel, saying that the attacks coming all over are not fair and not proper. I was able to play the recording with a monitored program he held on yesterday evening via the television rather, and he stipulated further that so many challenges are upcoming and they're receiving attacks from almost every corner. Allegations are cropping up, and he also disclosed further that whoever is going to take over Doyin Okupe's position now that he has stepped down would have to be a collective decision by the party members themselves and not just one individual. However, Peter Obi has spoken out and he said that the conviction of Doyin Okupe is not going to derail him from his campaign and his mandate and promises to Nigerians. He says that the needful will be done concerning that. Since the matter is in court, let the court, go about it in their normal due process. So he's saying outrightly that he will continue with his presidential bid and it's not going to derail him, it's not going to affect him. Doyin Okupe, on the other hand, stepped down because he did not want that particular blight to be a form through which their opponents would throw arrows and questions at them concerning their credibility amongst, the members there. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number to also send your message to is 0700 903 9039. All right. Remember also that I talked about this group and they call themselves Concerned Citizens Network. They're alleging that Peter Obi somehow is affiliated with IPOB, that he has refused to publicly come out to stipulate and isolate himself from what IPOB represents. They also claim that his intentions are quite nefarious as to the fact that there are quite a number of IPOB personnel within the Labour Party who seem to have various means of making contributions for Peter Obi's presidential campaign. And so, again, these allegations are cropping up. Eunice Tanko is also debunking them. I need to hear from you based on what Eunice Tanko said, based on what this supposed group says. If there are any inclinations on any of these things that were said. And concerning the Labour Party, like Mr. Elvis currently just stipulated, it's a party that is just, springing up. It's not a new party, but they begin to have a force, a strength and recognition across the Nigerian polity. So it's normal for them to have some internal wranglings, just like other political parties are currently going through. So, however, these challenges are normal and these allegations coming up will be expected, but I need to hear from you. And on YouTube, Emia for ABJ says, any group or persons linking Peter Obi to IPOB are speaking from ignorance. Peter Obi has said that the government should talk with every agitator to find out their request. He has no links with IPOB. And he went further to say, this caller knows his onions. Okay, that's you're referring to Mr. Elvis. So he says, this caller knows his onions. Yes, Mr. Obi has addressed the issue of IPOB and other agitators. Oka Emmanuel Ogbonna says they can only try, but Obi will win with landslide. So this is all about you trying to get your PVCs beyond talk now. You need to go out there and get your PVCs. That is the only way that we all can have access to making sure that our decisions and choices are actually met with. So make sure that you do go get your PVCs as soon as possible. If there are any challenges concerning that, please do address them as soon as you can so you are not disenfranchised when it is time for you to vote. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And you can also send us a WhatsApp message on 0700 903 9039. 0700 903 9039, and we're currently streaming on YouTube as well. You can send a message on YouTube right on there. Go to Voice of the People 90.3 FM on YouTube, and of course you can definitely send us a comment in there, just like Emir for Abuja actually sent a message, as well as Uka Emmanuel sent a message. You can send your message right on there and we will definitely read it out on the program. And so the question we're asking ourselves today is this: with what is going on within the Labour Party and with the conviction of Doyin Okupe, how do we address, how will the party begin to try to get itself up? Although Peter Obi has come up to say that it is not going to affect his presidential bid, regardless of the challenges coming up, which Mr. Elvis actually just said now that it is expected for the party to go through these challenges. But I would like to hear from you precisely what exactly will be the modus operandi now within the Labour Party. Do you think this has kind of reduced the support for the party? Do you think this will put them in a questionable plight with people who actually have been looking forward to the party and in terms of credibility? And then, of course, I talked about this Concerned Citizen Network. They put out something that they said Peter Obi should be investigated as to not trusting him concerning what his stance is with the IPOB, indigenous people Council of Biafra, the prescribed group, and they're stipulating that Peter Obi has not in any way said something that could further state why he has not dissociated himself from, what IPOB stands for. So it seems there is no service on the phone, because I think a couple of you would have been trying to call in by now, but I can see that there is no service. I do not know what is going on. I don't know if it's the network. I don't know if it's... So I'm trying to, while that is being sorted out, you can actually go on YouTube right now. We're streaming, and call and send us a comment right on there. I'll read it. If you cannot call, if you've been trying to call and you cannot call, there's actually no service on the phone. I'm sure you have been trying to call. So while that is being rectified, we will try as much as possible to continue with the program. But you can go on YouTube right about now. Okay, just go on YouTube, type Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We're streaming live on there. All you need is just to have your internet put on or your mobile data put on. So while we're streaming on there, you just go and you'll see East News in the News currently streaming live, and you can send your comments right on there while this is being worked on. Okay, so Cornelius Onyeka says, how many times will Peter Obi speak out concerning IPOB? Upload and listen to his previous interviews, please. Okay, so yes, definitely. I'm just bringing, this is a matter that is currently trending on the fora. Persons have complained about him and not standing or stipulating precisely that he is not against IPOB, and they're also insinuating that there are IPOB members within the political parties, within the Labour Party, whom they think have affiliations with what is going on in the Southeast. That is basically what is out there right now. There's a letter written openly asking for Peter Obi to be investigated. So that's why we're bringing it to the fora. Well, you have watched it. A couple of people to have watched it. Some people may not have. But the reason why I'm bringing it to the fora today is this. Do you think with what recently happened within the Labour Party that this could dissuade or derail the process, in as much as a presidential candidate has come up to say that it is not going to derail his mandate or what it is he intends to do? He will try as much as possible to work hard further for the people and live up to the mandate that was promised. All right, that's basically what he said during the public forum. So let's try as much as possible to see how we can make this a situation objectively that can be looked at from the Labour Party's perspective and from the supporters' perspectives as well. I have Peterson, Comrade Peterson says, whom God has raised up, no amount of principality and power will pull him down. Even you, the presenter, know the truth. All these things are sponsored by the APC and their gullible leaders, but I assure you, Almighty will destroy all this evil. Mark my word. Okay, thank you very much, Peterson, for sending that message. I think we're beginning to have some, for on WhatsApp, you can actually send a message on WhatsApp as well. At least that one is also using mobile data, so you can get across on WhatsApp 0700 903 9039 0700 903 9039. That is the number to send your messages on WhatsApp. While we're currently streaming live on YouTube, you can also send a message right on YouTube and we'll read out your comments, like the Emir of Abuja has sent, and of course Uka Emmanuel Ogbonna, as well as Cornelius Onyeka. I can see you right on there. So if you also want to contribute on the program, you go on YouTube right on there and send your comments. We will definitely attend to you and actually read it out on the program. But you can also send a WhatsApp message as well. You just go on 0700 903 9039 on WhatsApp. But you can also still try to call the number 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. We have not gotten service up to now. I don't know if there is something that has been clicked on here, but while that is being sorted out, like I said, you can actually go on YouTube and also on WhatsApp to send a message. 0700 903 9039. That is the WhatsApp number to send your message to. Again, the conversation this morning that we have talked about is this: how do we try as much as possible, especially with the political parties and all their campaigns and promises right about the moment? The PDP is currently going through its own huddle. You have the G5 with that almost, would I call it, splintered the party itself. You also have the APC too, some of them having their factions, but reconciliations have been ongoing within that particular political party promises are being made by presidential candidates on virtually all the sectors currently going through serious challenges in the Nigerian polity. And so, how do you believe this? How do we ensure that whatever it is that's been said they will be held accountable for it? And then concerning the Labour Party, which is the focus of the conversation this morning, how do you try as much as possible to ensure that with what has happened, no one is dissuaded, especially concerning the party's credibility? Agreed, Doyin Okupe has stepped aside, which you heard Yunusa say was a good measure and was of good faith. But how do we try as much as possible to know precisely what the next step would be? In as much as a presidential candidate has come out to defend the party, defend his stance, what do you think? And I have a WhatsApp message here from Ayobami. He says, do not force anybody to vote for whoever. Should anyone in his right senses need to be told who to vote for? Judging from the wild experiences of national mismanagement of the last 7 to 8 years, is it personal experiences of poverty, insecurity, corruption, those in power feeding so far, and the populace in fiery and fierce poverty? But if Nigerians choose to ignore the facts and reality around us and choose to follow lies, then good luck to us. Remember, whoever becomes president would be the president for all, with attendant goodies are for the woes. And this is from Ayobami. Thank you so much, Ayobami. You can actually send more messages on WhatsApp. Right now, there is no network. I'm sure you're trying to call, but there is actually virtually no service on the phone. It's actually saying no service. So I really don't know what is going on, but you can send a WhatsApp message on 0700 903 9039, or you can actually send your message on YouTube as well via the comment section. I'll read it out here. Francis Ojako says, I don't stand with IPOB, and as a politician Peter Obi is, you wouldn't expect him to say it openly. He needs their vote. Wow, that's from Francis Ojako. He's saying that he needs IPOB vote. Did he say that? That's what these people are actually saying, that he has refused to come out to actually say whether he's for them or not. And now you're actually saying that he needs IPOB's vote. Okay. Right, sending your comments on YouTube. All right, VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube. It's using the news is currently streaming on live, and you can send your comments. I'll read it out here. Also on WhatsApp 0700 903 9039. I do not know why we do not have service. I am trying to see how that can be worked on. All right, let's take a very short break. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
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 Good morning. You've been trying to call, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it just got rectified now. Thank you so much for calling in. What's your name?
My name is Chukwemeka from Sulere.
Chukwemeka, please go ahead.
Yes. Please, I like your program. What you're saying, I'm very, very interested.
Thank you.
But what about the people are complaining or putting all that things against P2B? All of them is in the right place. But what I would like them also to know that Tinubu, that the APC, is under this Oduduwa Congress.
Okay.
Atiku also under this Boko Haram and Metala. Let them ask them question whether they are also part of them. All the type of thing they are doing is just to spoil people's image, and it's not good. This is politics. So let's INEC, the area of politics. What is going on now in Lagos here now? They're going house to house, collecting people's voters card and registering the number and taking their phone number. So that even if they fail, they're going to court, carry out this thing to court as an evidence that this is what they collect. So let INEC do properly homework for what they are doing.
Okay.
All this type of thing will not help Nigeria.
Thank you.
Nigeria to be
Thank you.
Let us Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling.
I like that program.
Thank you.
God bless you.
All right, you too. Thank you. All right. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. The phone situation has been sorted out, so I think the calls can actually come in. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Esther.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to the program.
Nikki was a colleague from Ufaya.
Nikki, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, go ahead, Nikki.
Esther, the obvious truth we all know. And what is happening right now, before now, these people were actually looking down on Labour Party, dismissing every of their activities with just a wave of hand. But right now, they begin to see the handwriting on the wall. And then, so many things that the government is putting in place is further making it impossible for their usual way of rigging elections to happen. So now they know they have no option. They have campaigned to the moon, they have campaigned to the sky, they have gone to the river, to the water, everywhere to campaign. They knew clearly now that Nigeria.
You said they went to the river, to the water.
Everywhere, they have campaigned everywhere, in the moon, in the sky, everywhere. And they are seeing clearly that Nigerian people are resolutely behind Labour Party and IPOB. So now they've come back to look for any other opportunity, look for other means to bring him down. See what is going on now. See the killing of the members of Labour Party here and there. How many people have been killed in the other parties? So, and then the next thing, doing Okupe, because truly, they have their basket full of problems, those two political parties, the so-called leading political parties. And then they say, now let us look for how to throw spanner in the wheel of the Labour Party, because it seems that they are the one going on smoothly. Let me tell you what happened at Ogun State. I tell you, must have been precipitated by underground work to use Doni Okupe to disorganize the party. Now, when that one was not really yielding any positive result, they have to go through this list. Or otherwise, I'm not trying to say like if Doni Okupe has committed any infraction, that he should not go in for it. He should go in for it because that is the kind of Nigeria we're looking for.
All right.
So, but in that, look at it, those who are fingered in that same issue, they've been trying those ones forever. So we have not heard anything. How did our law court so become efficient overnight that Doni Okupe, 1, 2, 3, they've tried him?
No, it's Dasuki case. The case has been ongoing.
Yes, but how come that it is shown that it could be expedited? What about
others?
Ayodele and the rest?
All right, okay. I see the perspective you're coming from now.
We understand where they are going, but they should know that they are waiting to a vehicle that has speed off already.
All right, thank you.
The Nigerian
Thank you, Nikki.
know where to cast their vote.
All right, thank you. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903 and our WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. We're currently streaming on YouTube. You can go on there and send your comment. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Esther, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. How are you?
Fine. How is your day?
My day is okay so far. So far, so good. How is Iba?
Fine.
All
I
right.
want to commend Doni Okupe.
You want to commend him?
I want to commend him for what he did not steal, he did not commit any offense.
Okay.
The thing is that the way the money entered his hand, I know that it was Mr. President Jonathan that time that gave him the money. And he did exactly what they gave him.
No, it wasn't Jonathan that gave him the money. It was Sambo Dasuki.
It was Jonathan that I started him to give him the money now.
Okay.
That $2 billion was for in disguise. It was for his campaign as Mr. President. No, he can do anything he wants to do. So that was how he wanted to share. Even though Mexico got 600 million. Onufala got 100 million. Olifale took off his own 400. So many people got their money. Not only. So they give you money to ask you in the media now, they give you money to handle media people, which you collect and handle media people. So he did what they wanted him to do with him. When Mr. President can't question him, he can't tell him, I'm going to pay it in my account. He told him to collect money, cash. So he collected and did it. So concerning what these people are talking about, IPOB, these people, that man is said, I don't know, you see, I'm on air, I cannot use bad language.
Yes.
That man, they are the ones that formed Boko Haram and bandits. They have not formed that one. No. they cause more harm than what is happening in the east. That Boko Haram and IPOB has not carried anybody inside forest, and they are calling Okupe to do anything. We cannot do anything concerning IPOB. So they open his mouth and say anything, they will kill him. I'm telling you the truth. His father's house.
He can't say anything concerning IPOB?
Well, he cannot say anything against IPOB unless you want to enter trouble.
So are you saying now that he what do you call it, that IPOB could be some of the people who are supporting his campaign? Because that's what those people are alleging.
They are not supporting his campaign. They are even making things to impede his ambition self. All the efforts are making self is to impede his ambition. The IPOB are not interested in anything election Nigeria. They are not interested, and if you are with the government to take over Nigeria, they are against you. There's just a set of people who don't know what they
want.
Ambition is.
Okay.
So we can open mouth and talk anything, say he condemn what is happening. If he enter into serious
problem.
That was what they did to Okupe during the PDP 1998 this thing, primaries. They did it to Okupe. At the time, Minister started saying that Okupe raised the regional army, the Afghan army. So that was why Okupe lost at that primary, 1998, at the Township Stadium. The thing was going everywhere. Okupe was crying that time. He was raising his two hands up. Was saying it and saying it.
Ben, I really like how you follow the politics in this country. You are so into it. Well done, Ben. Well done.
Thank you. All
right.
God bless you.
You're welcome.
Esther Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, Ben. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call, and you can also send a WhatsApp message on 0700 903 9039. We're streaming on YouTube as well, so if you're somewhere you cannot call in, probably because you're in the office, well, you can type and we'll definitely read it out on the program. Hello, good morning. All right, we lost that connection. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you? Hello?
Yeah,
I can't hear you properly. Please project better. What's your name?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Yes.
Location, please. Ejigbo. All right, go ahead. Manuel, are you okay? You sound a bit down.
I'm okay.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So the issue is this, this is a typical time in our history. And some people are making it available before. So it's better that this concern, there are just 3 or 4 people that got the sense together, maybe they're taking whatever. Some people, and then they come up.
Okay.
This is exactly the bitterness we see in Nigeria politics. It's very bad. So you see, these people, they see how Nigeria has been structured here and there. They are not concerned. They see the level. If Nigeria now is just as cheap as pure water, they are not concerned. They see that even for a commoner to live comfortably, just anyhow, they are not concerned. They are concerned for something that they know very, very well, that Nigerians are passing through crucibles at this time. Nigeria really needs a change, typical change, correct change, visible change, not the one that exists only on paper and promises.
Okay.
So these people come up with whatever I want to assure you, my sister, we really need to change our mentality.
All right.
Whenever we make ourselves available to the board, politicians can pay any amount to make sure that they buy us. Many of us, at the issue of PVC.
All right, thank you very
How many of us are ready
much.
to go and take our own?
Thank you.
Look at the issue of many of us are very, very busy. We cannot even afford 1 hour to go there and take that. And the people do hard a lot. They know this. When they say that you have so much in their head, they make it a little bit before you. That they give you another 1 hour, and they know you cannot wait for that 1 hour. That is it. Look at those who are taking this PVC for now.
All right, thank you. We need to read messages, okay? The program will soon be rounding off. Thank you so much for calling on the program. All right, so let me quickly read through the messages. Good morning, Esther and Elvis. I want to start by encouraging citizens to go for their voters cards. And Dr. One, he says the process is seamless. I have picked mine and so many colleagues. Dr. Doyin Okupe remains an honorable citizen and won many hearts by taking the bold step to resign. The party mantra truly is people-centered. Those groups trying to link Peter Obi to IPOB are only wasting their time. APC presidential candidate has not condemned any killings, even that of the daughter of a Afenifera's leader, Pa Fasharati, was politicized as well. And the Amotekun group is in all southwest states except Lagos. Peter Obi cannot condemn what he does not have detailed information on. Most of the insecurities all around the country is shrouded in secrecy. Mr. Obi remains clean. And this is from Simi Sola from Isolo, Lagos. Thank you so much, Simi, for sending your message. And of course, good morning. When has the useless? Wow. Please, let's be mindful of the kind of language we use when we send messages, okay? When has the DSS or security operatives, the leader of the group, writing a letter and accusing Peter Obi, should be arrested and investigated and should be made to tell us their evidence. Peter Obi is not the president. He is not currently a governor. And we have seen governors openly supporting bandits, headsmen with guns without apologies. And why hasn't anything been done concerning them? So I pity our position because they have been suffering since the emergence of Peter Obi, and since they can't find him guilty. And this is from Chief Udo. All right. Thank you very much, Chief Udo, for sending that message. Wilson from Lekki says, please, we shouldn't mind those groups. Now, just fame them defined. Any small group now that needs fame will use Peter Obi or Labour. Good day. And how is family? Families go. Thank you so much. Finally, on Okupe, while he's paying for the usual amongst those at the seat of corridor, it needs to be mentioned that the money was not marked as proceeds of corruption because GEJ, that's former President Goodluck Jonathan, nor Sambo Dazuki, had been prosecuted. Basically, Okupe's matter is his and he resigned. No meaningful mischief, in my opinion, will affect the Labour Party. However, let Labour Party and her supporters remain resolute and push further. It should not be just about social media. It should be about participation. If the needful is done, the event nearing the general elections may finally be in the interest and advantage of the party. Meanwhile, there are loads of converted corruptions, laden politicians, and of course, this person mentioned names. Okay, thank you very much for sending your message. You did not put your name. Okay, this is Abayomi. Abayomi, you sent another message. Thank you so much. Again, let me take this final message from Timothy, and he says the political class know there are ways, but we, the masses, are yet to know our duties as a citizen. Okay, Timothy, thank you for that message. The political class knows their ways, but we masses are yet to know our duty. I don't understand what you mean by that, Timothy, but I hope you're able to send it clearly and properly so we get to understand. We need to wrap up the program right about now. For those of you who called, thank you so much for your WhatsApp messages as well. Unfortunately, we didn't begin to take calls on time. We did not have network, so I don't know if I should apologize for that. But that was rectified. For those of you who actually participated on the program, thank you so much. You can follow me at Esther Wanchiku on Twitter, Esther Wanchiku on Facebook, and Esther Nwaz on Instagram. That's ESTANWAZ. And of course, at Voice of the People on 903 FM. All right. Do have yourselves an amazing day. Again, compliments of the season.